When you were watching what happened on October 1st, there were several people in your office at the Legal Aid Center of Southern Nevada who instantly knew that this was going to be something that your office would be involved with.
Yes.
Tell me about those conversations. What were you thinking at that time?
So we have long been a community partner in the community, assisting individuals that need help. And as we're watching this unfold on the TV, like many people from all over, we knew that we wanted to help. And so we thought, well, what can we help with? And we're attorneys. We help with legal issues, and we knew immediately that there would be legal issues that survivors would be dealing with in the aftermath of the tragedy.
Sure. Give me an idea, before we get to the issues, give me an idea of how many people are coming to your office starting in October, November, December. How has it increased?
It has not increased. When the October 1 first happened, we saw a large number of individuals with immediate legal issues. They had worked the event, they didn't get paid. They haven't been able to return to work. What can they do? They were working and they were injured. What can they do? They had a family member pass away due to their injuries. Can we help with probate? Those kind of immediate legal needs. As time has gone on, those obviously dropped off just due to time, and now we're seeing a different type of issue. We're seeing financial issues. I call it the financial fallout, because people have hung on. They had some savings, or they were able to get through the first part of it, just like we saw in the recession, where some time has gone by, and now we're seeing those financial issues crop up to the point that they need help with those.
Did they not know you were available to help? It seems like I hear you saying that people were trying to handle this on their own, and then they got to the crisis point.
So individuals don't always look at these issues as legal issues. Let's say you can't pay a bill, and then that creditor sues you, and now you have a lawsuit. And a lot of times people's mindset is, well, I owe it. They don't look at it as a legal issue if they came in that we could help them with, but we absolutely could help them with that. We can negotiate, we can look at the underlying debt and see if there's a defense to that debt. Has service been proper? Have their rights been protected? And that's what we do as attorneys. Same thing with issues like foreclosure. Is there a modification that this individual would qualify for? Could we, ask the bank to give them a break for 6 months to get back on their feet? There's lots of different things that you can do legally when you're dealing with financial issues, but people don't always understand that. And I think also there's a stigma when you're dealing with financial struggles, where sometimes people don't want to reach out and say, I need help, is there anything that you can do? And we are here to assist the survivors of this tragedy.
You've kind of made the connection that a lot of these financial issues are actually mental health issues. Can you explain that correlation?
I can. So they're obviously intertwined one with another. Anytime you have individuals struggling with mental health issues, that's going to impact how they're functioning on a day-to-day basis, which can very well lead to financial issues. And vice versa. If you have someone dealing with financial issues, that's going to impact how they're dealing with their other mental health struggles at the time. And when you have a tragedy like we had here, you have a lot of mental health injuries, which can very easily spill over into financial problems.
Right. So if you have someone that has, for whatever reason, they have PTSD associated with this event, October 1, it crops up. They can't concentrate, they can't go to work, they don't earn an income, they can't make the house payment, the credit card bills, and that's how it starts to just stack up.
Right, absolutely. The best case scenario and what we want to see is individuals that get back to work and get back into their regular routine, but there are individuals that haven't been able to do that. And as a result, they're having financial struggles that we would expect to see when someone's dealing with that type of mental injury.
Right. One of the things that you also mentioned just a moment ago is, this has kind of been eye-opening in some ways for you. Workers' comp, someone falls off a ladder, we know that they're going to be injured. This event, we also know they're going to be injured, but it's not going to be a physical injury. It's going to be mental health issues, that mental injury. That's kind of eye-opening for you and how you handle these cases, and something you probably didn't anticipate before this experience.
Absolutely. It's completely opened my eyes to the mental health component of a tragedy like this. Because you have injuries, when they're physical injuries, it's readily apparent. Everyone can see that you're injured. But if you have someone that is a survivor of this event, they could still be very much injured, but you're not going to see it when it's a mental injury and not a physical injury. We had cases where people were working at this event and they were injured. They may not have been physically injured, but they did have mental health injuries. And it wasn't readily apparent that they had an injury, so nobody said, oh, hey employee, you really should go and file a workers' compensation claim to make sure that you're protected and you receive the benefits that you're entitled to under the workers' compensation program. As a result, the time ran for those filings and some weren't able to get that protection. Employers typically advise their employees, you've been injured, I saw you injured your back or you fell off the ladder and I can tell you're injured, let's go sit down and go over these forms and I'll help you and explain it to you so you can get your benefits. But when it's a mental health injury, they don't recognize it visually. So it has created a whole new, mindset for myself of we need to be more aware of our mental health and injuries that can occur at events like this.
I know you've had kind of a steady number of people since October 1 that have come to the Legal Aid Center for help. I know that one of your concerns is there are many other people that have not come forward, and how would your office deal with that in some cases? I imagine there's a lot of people out there that have not sought help yet.
It is a very large concern of mine. It's estimated there were 22,000 individuals out when this tragedy struck. And we know that there are people out there that need our assistance. Yes, I've had that question. What would you do if everyone came in? You know what? We would figure it out. The resources are out there. We will connect people with the resources that they need. I just am going to encourage them to come in so that we can assist them. Because it bothers me more to think that they're out there and need the assistance and aren't coming in than being scared of how am I going to handle all this work. We'll figure it out.